wrestling fans? My name is Brian Crazy, and you are watching the FM brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in once again. I am back with my review of the longest-running weekly episodic television show in history. That's right, Monday Night Raw from May 7, 2012. It was a great show, in my opinion. We got to see the return of Paul Heyman to the WWE. That's right, Paul E. Dangerously, one of the greatest managers ever to step foot in the wrestling ring. He has managed some of the greatest talent ever to step foot in a wrestling ring. Now, Monday Night Raw, it was a great show. There was no John Cena tonight. There was no Brock Lesnar tonight. We got to see a lot of the younger guys get pushed, and I'm really happy about that. Not that I don't like some of the bigger established talents, and not that I don't like legends, or I don't like this, or I don't like the other, but I really like to see some of these younger guys get pushed. They are the future of the WWE, and if the ball is dropped on these guys, where is it going to leave the future of the WWE? Having a strong mid-card, having a strong tag team division, having a strong Divas division are all integral parts in making a successful overall product. So we start off the show with Johnny Ace. He comes out, cuts a promo, talks about Brock Lesnar, talks about the situation with John Cena, talks about the board of directors, Triple H, you name it. He covers everything under the sun that's happened in the WWE as of late. Then he goes on to say that there will be no repercussions from the board of directors upon him. Then CM Punk comes out. These two exchange words into Johnny Laurinaitis announces that CM Punk will go one-on-one against his personal henchman, Lord Tensai, later in the night. And I really like the connection between Lord Tensai and Johnny Ace. We all know, well, not all of us, but to bring you guys up to speed that are not familiar with Johnny Ace, he wrestled over in Japan. He was quite successful in Japan, and he won the tag team title on several occasions. Now, I think they showed a small little clip during Monday Night Raw of a few pictures, trying to bring some of the fans that are not familiar with Johnny Ace, the wrestler, up to speed. Now, the whole gimmick behind Lord Tensai is he went to Japan. He became a disciple of the Japanese culture, and he has come back. And it's a pretty interesting tie. Laurinaitis was successful in Japan, and now his personal henchman is a disciple of the Japanese culture. Then we go to the first match of the night. We see the Big Show go one-on-one against the Intercontinental Champion, Cody Rhodes. And unfortunately, we don't get to see too much of the match here. Big Show dominates and decimates Cody Rhodes in the early part of this match until Cody Rhodes decides to just grab his title and go running up the ramp. Big Show wins via countout. And the shame is these two could provide so much better of a show, and we really didn't get to see them wrestle too long of a match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and we didn't get to see pretty much any of a match tonight. And I know these are two talented performers. We've seen countless good matches from these two athletes in the past, and I want to see more good matches in the future, and I wish that some of these matches could have ran a little bit longer tonight, but I understand what they're doing. They're furthering the build towards the Over the Limit pay-per-view. They want to make Over the Limit exciting. They want to make it a must-see pay-per-view for the fans of the WWE Universe. I understand that. That is smart business. They're coming off two incredible pay-per-views, WrestleMania 28 and the Extreme Rules event, where we got to see Brock Lesnar wrestle for the first time in the WWE ring in 8 years. So they got to add the extra ante. And you'll find out tonight that a little bit has been added. We're going to see a Divas match, and the World Title match has also been modified. So then we go into another great contest. We get to see Kofi Kingston go against Dolph Ziggler, and the whole cast of characters is at ringside. Jack Swagger's at ringside. We see Vicky Guerrero. We also see R-Truth, and I assume Little Jimmy's out there as well. I saw him waving him down the ramp. And I heard that Little Jimmy wants a tag belt for himself, so, or maybe R-Truth wants it for him. But basically, with the whole cast of characters at ringside, we end up seeing Dolph Ziggler pick up the win over Kofi Kingston in an excellent match. Dolph Ziggler is the future of the WWE. I've been saying it for the past year plus that Dolph Ziggler has what it takes. He has paid his dues. He's gone through his share of gimmicks, and this gimmick is good. He's a very talented wrestler. There was an incredible match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view where we got to see Dolph Ziggler go one-on-one against CM Punk for the WWE title. Absolutely phenomenal. I was on the edge of my seat. And to be honest, I am a huge fan of professional wrestling, but there hasn't been too many matches in the last couple of years that have had me on the edge of my seat like that match. I mean, almost to the level that of enjoyment and the level of anticipation, the level of unpredictability that we saw in the Triple H HBK match, Triple H Undertaker matches and the HBK Undertaker matches of the previous years at WrestleMania. Then we go into a Divas tag team match. I was pretty excited to get to see Maxine. She is big over on NXT. She's currently involved in the storyline with her former boyfriend, Derek Bateman, and also former boyfriend, Johnny Curtis. She's also gone out with Hornswoggle. She tried to woo William Regal. You name it, this girl's, trying to further her career for whatever superstar she possibly could, but that doesn't put aside the fact, and storyline-wise, doesn't put past the fact that she's an incredible talent. She's very talented, and I've seen her perform quite frankly, a lot better than we saw here tonight. I would have really liked to see more out of Maxine, more out of Natalya, more out of Layla, and more out of Kelly Kelly. These are all talented divas, and I think that's the problem with the divas division. As soon as they start to push it a little bit, they start to pull back on it. And in the last few weeks, we got to see some great divas matches. We got to see the match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. There's a couple great divas matches the previous week before. And even Friday night on SmackDown, Layla versus Natalya was a great match. I unfortunately wasn't able to provide a SmackDown review for you guys, but I did get to see the show. It was a great product, and I wanted to mention that here tonight. We do see Layla and Kelly Kelly pick up the win, and I really would have liked to see this match just go a little bit longer. Not that the moves we saw in the match were bad, and like I always try to say here, guys, we might not like the particular wrestler, and that's what makes being a wrestling fan so great, is we get to enjoy what superstars we like and we don't like, whatever have you. Then we get to go into a great tag team match. I mean, a lot of the matches I just really enjoyed tonight. Alberto Del Rio and Chris Jericho going against Randy Orton and Sheamus. We'll find out a little bit later in the night that this match was the catalyst for a fatal four-way at the Over the Limit pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight title. This match concludes when Sheamus accidentally hits the throw kick on Randy Orton. He was distracted. He turns around and he thought one of his opponents was behind him. It was actually his tag team partner. Kicks him in the face. Post-match, we see Randy Orton hit the RKO on Sheamus. This starts off a feud that spills into the general manager's office when Johnny Ace announces it will be a fatal four-way. And also, we will get a Divas match at the Over the Limit pay-per-view. Layla will defend her Divas title against Beth Phoenix. I would really have liked to see Beth Phoenix go against Natalya with the Divas of Destruction, but we saw a little bit of a rift there. Tamina Snuka should also be a contender for the title, but I really like the way they're going. Layla is very talented. Beth Phoenix is very talented, but I think I forgot to say the conclusion of that match. After he accidentally hit that bro kick, we see Chris Jericho capitalize. He hits the code breaker 1, 2, 3. Chris Jericho picks up the win. He then goes to ringside area, grabs the title, and gloats that he just pinned the world champion. That's when it spills off into the general manager's office and becomes a fatal four-way match. Then we go into, excuse me guys, I'm just catching up here. We go into the next match. Brodus Clay goes against The Miz. And I honestly have to say The Miz brought to Brodus Clay more than probably any other superstar in previous weeks. I mean, with the exception of maybe Dolph Ziggler and the all-American Jack Swagger. And I really like Swagger, you know, and it's a shame is that Swagger's always kind of got the shit end of the deal. I guess he became a little too cocky when he won the World Heavyweight title and unfortunately got, you know, pushed back. We saw him basically as Michael Cole's right-hand man. And Michael Cole, believe it or not, wields an incredible amount of power in the WWE, and you might not like his current gimmick, even though they've been kind of tuning back on it in previous weeks. But Michael Cole is a very talented journalist. He's very talented at what he does, and few announcers has been able, I mean, yes, charisma-wise, announcers have been able to surpass Michael Cole. But I'm talking about delivery, I'm talking about consistency, I'm talking about a lot of things. Michael Cole is a pretty good announcer. I mean, yes, Jesse Ventura, absolutely legendary. Vince McMahon, legendary. Mike Tenay, I'm a huge fan of Mike Tenay, and I actually try to emulate Mike Tenay in a lot of my work. The Professor is one of my favorite wrestling personalities of all time. But the thing about it is, let's get back to the match. I think that's the thing about it. Brodus Clay versus The Miz, and he actually brought it to him. And it was a good match. I felt like it kind of had an anticlimactic end with Brodus Clay picking up the win so quickly after The Miz brought it to him so much. But Brodus Clay is a pure brute. That's where we expected to come back. We got the Funkasaurus character, which I embraced right from the beginning. I know a lot of the IWC, YWC was really curious about this character, but I think it really went off well, and I enjoy seeing him every week. And more matches like this is the way it needs to go. Then we get to see Paul Heyman return to the WWE. I don't know if it's for one night only, or if it's going to become a continuing thing. He needs to be the voice for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a pure wrestling machine. He has an incredible look. He has an incredible wrestling persona. He has an incredible list of accolades. But the one thing Brock Lesnar was never really strong at was pre-scripted promos. Paul Heyman is one of the best managers of all time. If you guys aren't familiar with Paul Heyman, I'm sure you can find plenty of work of his here on YouTube. And he is one of the greatest wrestling managers, and he is one of the greatest wrestling minds. He was the foundation of the original ECW promotion. I'm not talking about WWE's version, which for the first couple of years was a very enjoyable promotion. Even at the end, it was helping push new talent, very similar to superstars in NXT now. And Paul Heyman just cuts an incredible promo, delivers a planned out message, a pre-scripted message from Brock Lesnar, whatever have you, and basically says Brock Lesnar has quit the WWE. Of course, I believe this is a storyline only. Brock Lesnar signed on for 35 dates for his $5 million deal, one of the biggest deals in WWE history. And if they can afford to do that with Brock Lesnar, they can find the right opponent for Stone Cold Steve Austin, in my opinion, and bring back Austin. Austin is open to a match. He is just open to a match if the cards are right, if it's right for him, if it's right for the WWE, right for his opponent, and right for the Stone Cold image. He left off on a good note. His last official match was against The Rock, and he put The Rock over, which was quite incredible. And even at the end of that match, those two had very, very kind words for each other before they exited the ring, and Stone Cold even let The Rock have his moment to shine, even though this was his last official WWE match. And do have to say, for the 35 some odd appearances, they've already used 4 or 5 of them up. He's been featured on Monday Night Raw heavily since his return, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And I really do see, they're going to push him more towards SummerSlam, more towards the Royal Rumble, and more towards what could be his final WWE match at WrestleMania 29 if his contract's not continued. But I would really like to see Paul Heyman be his mouthpiece. And then we go into the final match of the night, CM Punk with the match was supposed to be CM Punk versus Lord Tensai, which is what I really wanted to see, but it's turned into a handicap match. And when we see a handicap match, it's basically the evil general manager punishing the superstar that has spoken out against him. And we see the match conclude after Lord Tensai absolutely dominates and decimates alongside Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion CM Punk. Lord Tensai picks up the win after the green mist and the claw. And what I'd really like to see different tonight was a one-on-one match between CM Punk and Tensai. I know Tensai has what it takes. I know a lot of the WWE universe is still wrapped up around the Albert character. He hasn't been Albert in many, many years. And the Japanese culture, imagine immersing yourself in a different culture and a different way of life for so many years. I'm sure it would have a profound effect on you. And I would really like to see a one-on-one match to see what Lord Tensai could have brought to the table against a wrestler of the caliber of a CM Punk. And to further on the night, I would have really liked to see the Divas match go a little bit longer. That would have been enjoyable. I think that the big tag match ended the right way. We got to see the finish that they wanted. We got to see a fatal 4-way come out of it. But in the same right, I kind of would have liked maybe them waited for SmackDown to break this news. We haven't seen anything huge happen on SmackDown in quite some time. It kind of feels like we're tuning in the Raw for all the wows, and we're tuning into SmackDown for the solid entertainment that it provides and all the solid wrestling. But if you're looking for something that's going to make you go, it just doesn't feel like we're getting in our Friday Night SmackDown right now, and I really hope they change that trend. And I understand that Raw is the ratings. It's the show that brings in the most ratings. It's the show that's the most star-packed. But there's no reason SmackDown can't perform to that level during the height of the brand extension, the inter-brand competition. Raw versus SmackDown, trying to repeat the Monday Night Wars of WCW versus the WWE or the WWF at the time. We got to see a lot more competition. I hope they bring that back. I'm not talking about exact direct brand feud maybe again, but just SmackDown needs to up the ante a little bit. I'm not saying that it hasn't been a good show, but I would just like to see a little bit more. These are my honest thoughts. I don't think I've been overly harsh. I just think I have been honest. At the end of the day, like you guys know, I respect the WWE. I respect the hell out of Vince McMahon. I respect everybody that works in the WWE and works so hard to produce an incredible product. Believe me, just shooting these little wrestling videos is, planning out. It's thinking. I just don't shoot off the cuff. I try to come up with formats. I try to come up with ideas that you guys would like. I do research. I just don't throw out videos just because I want to hear myself talk. If I tell you someone's going to come back or someone got fired or if there's a rumor or if this is my opinion, I really try to plan it out and provide you guys with the best possible product. And I feel like you guys have been loyal to this channel, and that's what I owe you guys in return. So thanks for checking this out. Thank you for being loyal fans and subscribers. I can't wait to hear your feedback, and that's what makes this so great. I get to give you my thoughts. Not everybody shoots videos, but you can leave your thoughts in text format below, or shoot me a video response. Make a video in response to this video, post it on. I will guarantee approval. Long as, we don't need stuff that's like too freaking insane, but you guys know what I mean. You understand what I'm all about. Thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for being loyal fans and subscribers of the F Brand Wrestling and Entertainment here on YouTube.com. Please check out my website, FightNationWrestling.com. Please check me out on Twitter at BrianCrazy2001. And also, please check out my sister channel, F and True Wrestling, alongside my broadcast colleague, JC Styles, where our Raw review will be coming shortly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Could not have done it without you. Leave your comments. Can't wait to hear them. Have a great night. Have a safe morning commute tomorrow.